as a country move on security where we need the peace. But however much here we have the peace, and this, as we would say, there is somebody who say we don't have the peace, but security is needed in each and every corner.
Yes, that's true.
Not only on the main streets, not only I would say on maybe the main towns only. No, security is needed in every corner or the dark corner you know of. Now, I will just give you an example of what the recent thing that happened on the northern bypass, where you had thugs and thieves attacking people who were driving on the streets. Yeah. Not until the situation happened and people are sharing videos of how it was. That is when you could now see, when you are moving at night, you could see police patrol cars parking at the northern bypass. But why would you wait for a situation to happen, then you are deployed there? I believe when it comes nighttime, at least there should be some patrolling, because you can never negotiate or know when they're going to be striking. Yeah, we all know how much nighttime is kind of so unalarming you need to be, but all the time security has to be, I would say, everywhere. Now, why is it that it's mostly deployed when you're going to have elections? You'll see, that's when you'll see the policeman, like a red top, the army guys, the policemen, like they're all on the streets. You get? So why don't we just also deploy like equal security all over the country? Not so much, but at least when we all know security is in every corner and people know that they're safe, and that is how. Now, in that relation, as they're playing, because not only the video, but I believe we also had pictures on the scene.
Yes,
so they can also be displaying some of the pictures on the scene after the video when the situation was taking place. Lucky enough, the people in the company managed to at least manage the fire, and also the nearby people and the fire. But that's how it was. It didn't spread to that margin, because you could imagine how big it would have gone.
Yes, if it escalated, it would have been very tragic, and probably even to the neighborhoods and spreading to other properties. But it was managed to be contained by, of course, the Vivo employees, the Vivo task force, and the police working together, of course, with the fire brigade to put out this fire and contain it only within the Vivo premises. So yes, we appreciate the hard work of the Vivo staff, and together with the police, for managing to contain this fire. But while we're still talking about fires, there was another fire that I read about in Bali. Of course, also fuel related, but this was a fuel store. We usually have some stores that.
But why fuel again? Like, fuel sounds already in our ears. You could imagine. Like, fuel, we have fuel shortage. We have now where fuel shortage, the prices are striking high. Now here we are having fires in relation to fuel. Well, if somebody just hears these statements, all these stories, and if it was only one incident, you could also, okay, well, like maybe it's an accident. But these two occasions have happened, like this happened yesterday on the same day. Another fuel incidents happened just recently, like a week ago, I would say a week ago, still in Bali, on Bali Toro Road. So now another instance where we're having, particularly a fuel stall catching fire. Why fuel sounding all over?
Yeah, well, the issue around fuel is about how fuel is kept and what conditions it should be kept under. For the sake of the one that happened along Toro Road, of course, that was an accident. It's a little bit it's justifiable, but for this instance of what happened in Bali, the stories, of course, behind this are also unknown up to this very point, and of course investigations are ongoing to find what really happened. But the sad news about this instance that happened in Bali, we lost about 3 people.
Yeah, we lost about 3 people. Now, so, Jude, that's where I want to disagree with you on the issue of just saying it's an accident, of the fuel truck saying that it was just an accident. Yeah, accidents are meant to happen, and they can happen at any time you least expect them. That is very true. But you can also have another benefit of doubt, that was it really an accident? Was it really a genuine accident? Or it was unintentionally an accident? Why would be fuel? Because trust me, I don't see this ending. I'll just give you an example of the fires in schools. You get? Where children went back to school, then we started hearing stories. Just a week after that weekend, when the president, on the 10th, when the president said, children are free to go back to school, That following weekend, we saw schools getting bad and we lost lives of these young kids and the generation. Why is it so? Yeah, we also had the benefit of that. Yeah, maybe the schools were in the breakdown due to the long term or the two years break off. Yeah, some of the equipment were not well maintained. Yeah, maybe electrical issues. That is also, you can have that ideology and think that, but also you also have to open up your mind and think out of your box. Trust me. So we leave maybe the issue to the security, but I believe they should investigate this. Not only fires in the schools, not only these issues related to fuel explosion or burning fire in relation to fuel, even if it's an accident, all this has to be investigated thoroughly, because you never know.
Yes, indeed. All of this is under investigation. What happened at Vivo Energy, together with what happened in Bali, that led to the death of about 3 people. All of this is under investigations, and we hope answers will come to us. But we leave some of this to you with questions. What do you think is happening to our nation in relationship to these fires, in relationship to fuel? But we shall leave the fires a little bit and move away from that onto the next thing.
And the next thing, we go into Mauritius, we are seeing at least over 7,500 homes without power after a tropical storm, but something like that. And I believe it's related to weather.
Yes. Well, Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. Now, I don't know where we're going, but let's. I'll just be calling everybody, because even another news, you shall be bringing another story where it's alarming that we are having issues of drought all over the African continent, and all this linked to weather.
Yes. Now, of course, Brenda has mentioned about the cyclone that happened in Mauritius. This was, of course, over the course of Tuesday and yesterday. But it left about 7,500 homes, without electricity, and this partially destroyed, some of them fully destroyed. Now, of course, this cyclone, Mauritius, as you know, it's a tourist destination. It's neighboring the Indian Ocean, and it's a tourist destination. I've mentioned that already. But as of Tuesday, it was hit by a very major cyclone, almost the same magnitude like what hit Mozambique and Madagascar about 2 weeks ago. But what is happening in Mauritius is, they have put up some contingencies to contain some of these catastrophes. Yeah, but most of this was, it was unable to do anything, and has left many, without homes, or some of them with homes, but these homes are in bad shape, and most of them do not have electricity. Electricity is out. Now, we're talking about, weather and drought and floods and cyclones and etc. In the past few months, we have seen this escalate into something very big. Yeah. We have seen weather take a very, very aggressive turn against us.
Recently, we had against us as a country. Yeah, we have also faced, like, the issue of weather is also not only crossing here in the African continent, but also the European countries and the Asian countries are still experiencing. Remember when we were talking about the Philippines, they're also experiencing, and it took a long time before even they could go back. And I believe even up to now they are not stabilized.
Yes.
So it all leads to the issue of weather. And the weather specialists have still come in and warned that expect such and more of this to happen, because trust me, the environment has been destroyed, and things are turning around. Unless we do something about it, that we don't know where we're going to go.
Yes, true. But as I always say, it is better for you to get a visual of what we're talking about. And with that, I'm going to be playing for you a short video clip to bring for us this report all the way from Mauritius on what happened, during this cyclone, and about the 7,500 homes that are lacking power at this very moment. Here is a short clip for us.
Thousands of homes were left without power in Mauritius on Wednesday as powerful cyclone winds battered the Indian Ocean island nation. At least 7,500 homes were without power after the winds knocked down trees onto electricity lines, according to the local electricity board. Tropical cyclone Batirai passed within 130 kilometers of the holiday paradise, bringing heavy downpours and winds of around 120 kilometers per hour, with a peak of 155 kilometers recorded in the capital Port Louis. Life was brought to a standstill with public transport cancelled, shops and banks shut, and air and sea travel halted. Tropical storm Anna claimed the lives of 86 people in Mozambique, Madagascar and Malawi last week.
As Mauritius suffers with floods and several other countries, of course, in the region suffering from floods, cyclones and tropical windstorms, that is all about weather. But while we're still in the world of weather and how weather is retaliating, we shall be talking about, of course, here bits and bits of about weather, on why you think this is happening in relationship to floods and etc. But we come back to Somalia, where we're seeing, instead of tropical storms, we're seeing a lot of drought in the Horn of Africa, as we call it. Yep. Well, we're seeing a lot of starvation, malnutrition in South Africa, and all of this is caused by the drought which is happening that side. The UNICEF, of course, came out and spoke about this. They say they're trying to offer aid. They're trying to offer what they can. That includes medication and some food aid to the neighboring countries and the areas that are very, very much affected. But aid is not enough.
Aid is not enough, because trust me, they are also doing that. They have countries that are helping, not only due to drought, but also due to matters of security we're having because of the protesting, the wars that are happening in different countries all over the world. I'm talking about all over the world. So you could imagine how aid cannot be equally enough. Only that for those, you just have to call upon, for those who really have what they have, to share with others. Because when you look at the Horn of Africa, we have countries like Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya. All these are still being affected by the issue of drought. And they say this is even going to spread in further countries nearing this Horn of Africa. And this is still in relation to the climate, because of where they're experiencing drought, little rains. But now the least they can do is support them with food. And even if they can grow their crops, it cannot even really grow that much because of the. So it's all about helping them and seeing how they can deal in other things apart from maybe relying on weather alone.
Yes, that is true. Of course, drought brings about the dryness of almost everything. That includes foods that might have been of some use to some of the individuals living in this area. Of course, some of them have to move for several miles from where they reside to go and get some of this assistance from these external body aids that help to bring some medical care and food supplies. Let us play for you this short clip to bring you up to speed on what's happening around the Horn of Africa in relationship to drought and the weather at large. It is said that Africa is suffering from one of the worst weather calamities of this era, of this decade, and I think that is true. We are seeing these repercussions from weather. Weather is retaliating on us, probably because we're not maintaining our good status, But let us play for you this short clip and we come back to discuss a little bit more about weather.
Somalia, Kenya and Ethiopia have raised the alarm about the latest climate exacerbating drought threatening millions of people in the Horn of Africa. The UNICEF said on Tuesday that more than 6 million people in Ethiopia are expected to need urgent humanitarian aid by mid-March. In Ethiopia's Somali region, people have seen the failures of what should have been 3 straight rainy seasons. My child is suffering and we are facing difficulties. I left Gelilel this morning and came to Debele. I came to seek medication for my child. He was checked up and diagnosed with malnutrition. He was given medication and nutritious meals. I was met with great care. The UNICEF is now calling for further mobilization to help curb the effects of the drought.
UNICEF is supporting, in coordination with the Regional Health Bureau, deployed mobile clinics as part of preventing, detecting early and treating children suffering acute malnutrition.
UNICEF estimates that more than 150,000 children in such areas of Ethiopia have dropped out of schools to help fetch scarce water and handle other chores.
happening in Somalia in relationship to the drought, the action aid that is trying, they're trying their level best to assist these residents, these individuals in that area, but it is not easy. Now, while we're still in the issue of weather, we shall come back here to Eastern Africa, where we go to Congo, where we saw yesterday 26 people killed after an overhead high voltage cable fell into a flooded market, killing about 26 individuals.
Wow, that is a big margin of people, like that, a lot.
Yeah.
Though, however much we say that even if it's one life, it matters, because you all know how people, you never know what they may have added onto the country, and also what they may have done. They have families that are mourning for them, and they're like the breadwinners for those families. So you don't want to lose any life. But now when you look at this scenario, it's kind of, so you can't believe it, but it's true. We all know, like, electrical shock and all that, it happens, maybe like somebody, like one person dying on set, 2 people dying, like 3 people, like the recent one we gave you, or the story gave you here on the show, where previously the lady was hanging, the lady was hanging her clothes, and she was shocked by electricity due to poor wiring and all that. And another one who came on to hold the lady was also affected. Then the kid came in and held the mother. So like, it was just like a chain. That is how it happened. That is the scenario. But for this particular scenario, when you hear how it happened, it's because it happened actually in the market, and it was on the rain day. Early in the morning it had rained, and like this electrical wire at least got unplugged, and it fell. The live side fell in the water.
Yes.
The live side fell in the water. So all the people who are surrounding that area, be the traders themselves, the market traders themselves, even the customers, got involved, and they lost their lives. 26. Yes. That is a number. Now,
26 is a very, very big number. Yeah. But again, the residents of the area, and Brenda has mentioned, the market traders are lamenting to the government, crying out to the government to help them kind of solve this issue. The flooding issue has been a problem, specifically in this market, for a while now. They say that this market, every time it rains, the area gets flooded, and business is a bit halted. And of course, if it wasn't for the flooding, I think it would have been avoided, that the electricity could have probably, we still have lost lives, but we wouldn't have lost as many as 26 due to this very incident.
And it also link is how is the wiring, because if a wire just strikes and it breaks, well, how is the wiring?
Well, it's now, this is nothing to do with wiring or something like that. Now this comes down, as I've mentioned, this comes down to whether you have good wiring or you don't have good wiring. If there are heavy winds, be sure that it's going to shake up some things.
Okay. Yeah. And even that reminds me, when you are passing, that Chitanto Road towards the Levels Club there. Yeah. But before, there is what they call Arcadia Suite something, that hotel around there. So as I was going yesterday, was it a night before, I saw a pole. It had fallen, electrical pole, but it had fallen on electrical wires, and it was almost bending in the road. So I'm like, what if it rains, or what if anything happens and these wires just fall on a moving car, moving people who are surrounding? What will happen? So that is just a calling for the women who are in charge of this. Please go and check that area, and you see not only that area, but please also people should call upon, you should always inspect all this, because not only now I managed to see it, but there are also other areas that I don't reach, yet people see this scenario but they cannot report. So in relation to whether I just wanted to pass on that, because it's very crucial and we cannot leave it out. But when you come into the DRC, let us first show you the video and you see what really happened, the tragedy and also the sorrow state that the people are in that side.
26 people were killed Wednesday when an overhead high-voltage cable fell into a water-filled ditch at a market in DR Congo's capital, Kinshasa. The ditch runs across the popular Matadi Kibala food market in the west of the city, a sprawling metropolis of more than 10 million people. Electricity infrastructure in the Democratic Republic of Congo is often poorly maintained. In Kinshasa, which is vulnerable to tropical downpours, several districts are prone to flooding as a result of poorly maintained colonial-era drainage systems. Locals had previously complained of poor drainage system that has led to consistent flooding in the market.
Congo, Kinshasa. Now we leave Congo, and while we are still in Africa, we go to Guinea Bissau, where we are seeing another kind of coup happening here, or attempted,
Taking
or
power by
attempted
the
coup
military.
happening in Guinea Bissau.
You know, I think I read this story, was it a night on Tuesday night? As I was reading, as I was moving, and I fell on the sun like, hey, is this really serious? What is happening to the African countries, especially the Western countries? Because when you look at the surrounding, it's still Western countries. We have Mali, we have now Burkina Faso, now we have Guinea Bissau. It's also circumventing, like it's also under the same threat of the military taking over the government.
Now, for the sake of Guinea-Bissau, we know Guinea-Bissau is one of the most unstable countries, military-wise and democratic-wise, on the African continent. But in the past couple of years, there have been several attempts for a coup. Now, yes, coups have been happening all the way from about 1974, when Guinea-Bissau gained their independence from Belgium, and yes, there was a transition to a democratic government back in 2013, but even after that, there has still been several attempts. But this that happened on Tuesday against the president, of course, Mbalu, who is the president of Guinea-Bissau at the moment, there was an attempt on...
He has a nice name.
Yeah, there was an attempt on his life to get assassinated. No official reports had come out as of yet about this very incident, or any information about this very instance, but as of yesterday we got a hold of some information that about the president survived, of course, but six soldiers were injured, actually killed.
They were
killed, not just injured. Now it is unclear because in the information that we got, it is unclear whether these soldiers were the ones who attacked the president or they were protecting. So we don't know if they were the attackers or the defenders of the president. But what we know at this very point is that 6 of them were killed during this scaffold, against the president, when there was an attempted coup on the country. Of course, when there's an attempted assassination on the president, you have to anticipate what was meant to happen. Yes, there was live ammunition firing in the city, but lucky enough, it was contained.
So
now,
this was not even successful, but at least coming out, and trust me, I don't see them like bowing down. I don't see them surrendering or holding back. I think they may even take their time and calculate their moves, and anytime soon you should see them coming back. And also I think it's also related to they're empowered by what is happening in other countries. So that's why it gives a link to others or other military. They can also do this.
yes.
Because we have Mali, as I told, Mali, Burkina Faso. For the case of Mali, the military took over the president, former President Keita, who also formerly lost her. He died, due to the uncertainties of his health. Now, for Mali, the military came in and agreed to stay and organize elections for the people this February. But after, I think the long thought, they thought they needed to stay longer. They said, no, we're not going. Not until 5 years, then that's when we shall organize elections. Now, for the case of Burkina Faso, we all know what is happening that side.
Yes. Now, yes, Burkina Faso has, as I've mentioned, it has had a couple of attempted coups. To be specific, to be precise, is about four military coups ever since they gained independence from Portugal. This was from 1974. Now, yes, all of these have they have had all of this, but the country has tried to go about it by having a democratic government. Yes, in 2014 they vowed to have democracy in the country, but little has it has had little stability in the country. One of this is because Guinea-Bissau is one of the suppliers of cocaine to the European countries now.
Wow.
And European countries, there is dirty money. That's what I would say. And at the same time, there's a lot of corruption within the country, so it causes a lot of instability within the country. But let us give you a visual on what's happening in Guinea-Bissau a relationship to this coup. It happened on Tuesday. This attempt happened on Tuesday. It was a failed attempt, of course. The president survived, and he gave a report about this. So let us play it for you, this short clip, as you watch with us.
Residents of Bissau are reacting with shock after President Umaru Sissoco Embalo survived a gun attack in what has been called an attempted coup in one of Africa's most unstable countries. Heavily armed men on Tuesday, 1st of February, surrounded government buildings in the capital Bissau, where Embalo and his prime minister were believed to be attending a cabinet meeting. Yesterday, I ran away when I heard gunshots. I really ran for a long time. Young people have to stop doing this kind of thing, and I want it to stop once and for all. Nobody will accept to invest in a country where there is no peace, not to mention the other consequences. I am afraid that our studies will be interrupted, which will make us lose a lot of time, and it will get complicated. President Embalo later told reporters that he had been unharmed during the 5-hour gun battle. 6 soldiers were killed during the attempted coup.
In Burkina Faso and on the African continent. For those of you who are still watching and have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification icon to get notified every time we go live. If you are on Facebook, please like and share, comment, share with a friend to get up to date on what's happening around Africa and the world at large. We go into a short break for now, but when we get back, we dive into our trending stories. What's in the trending stories? We talk about everything that's happening on social media, everything starting from facts, rumors, even lies. So
even lies.
yes, so here on Behold
Spread
Africa,
lies,
we bring you everything. We talk about everything and everything. But for now, let's go into a short commercial break.
Okudda ku TV, audio and video editing, news anchoring, filming and photography, computer training n'ebirala. Ng'era mwewandiise ku ttendekero lyabwe obudde bukyali. UTIS Media Academy tuli banjawulo nnyo ku matendekero amalala kuba tusomesa practical skills oba hands on mu masomo gaffe gonna. Ebisingawo ojja kuba ku ssimu 0753 24 242 oba 0753 24 243. UTIS Media Academy esangibwa masanafu okulya na pay cheap hardware ejjukiza abazadde bonna nti okuwandiika abayizi abaagala okubanguka mu masomo gano kwatandise dda ku ssomero radio and television presentation, graphic designing, vmix and transmitter controlling okukyusa ebifaananyi okuva mu studio okudda ku TV, audio and video editing, news anchoring, filming and photography, computer training n'ebirala. Ng'era mwewandiise ku ttendekero lyabwe obudde bukyali. UTIS Media Academy tuli banjawulo nnyo ku matendekero amalala kuba tusomesa practical skills oba hands on mu masomo gaffe gonna. Ebisingawo ojja kuba ku ssimu 0753 24 242 oba 0753 24 243.
Break. You're still in Behold Africa with me, Nabsha Brenda, and I'm still taking you through. Always in this segment, I'm joined in with Julio, the man himself, who doesn't get ashamed but ashames others. He will be introducing himself and tell us how he slept and what he has come to do this early morning on the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Behold, Africa viewers, how are you? And let me hope everyone is fine. And people have passed on, by the way. And we want to thank the Lord that for He has given us another day in life. So, gwatachimanyi nti Katonda balina okwebazibwa mukwano. Gwamanyi. But anyway, I think Brenda is okay and fine. The way I see her. She's okay. Okay, in the trending stories today, we have the Zari, the boss lady. The boss lady came back with fire.
With fire.
In her mouth.
Plenty fire.
She said, I'm of a question. Who bewitched you? Africans, not even Ugandans only. Because that photo went viral, something or like that. And she said, who bewitched Ugandans and East Africans? Because she just said, just post a photo, don't put information on it, just keep quiet and see what will happen to you.
What will happen to you? Though of course there are those who will give you a compliment and there are those who will ditch. But I don't see only that happening in Uganda, trust me. When it comes to compliments, not only Uganda, it's only that we react differently and aggressively in a different way. Not only, we also are seeing other people in other countries. Somebody will post something and there are those who will give it to him. There are those who will be on their side, they will appreciate what they're seeing. So it's not only Uganda, that is what I can tell these people. It's not only Uganda. And you can never be there when only people are giving you good compliments. No. Somebody will even see a wrong thing out of what you're doing, yet it is great and true. So it's not only being a Ugandan or what, but that is how we are as generally as the people themselves, as we human beings.
She even continuously said, mind your own business.
She's our business.
Zari, the boss lady, you're our business.
She's our business.
Indeed.
She's over our Facebook. She's over our Instagram. She's our celebrity. She's our business.
You're my business, by the way, because if you know you don't do such things, I'm not having what to do. So Zari, but I think keeping quiet was the best teacher. Was the best thing to do. Not a reacting. Dr. Jose Chameleon, one of the pioneers, or should I call him a pioneer?
You tell us, what is he?
Okay, one of the legendaries, over one of the legend of the Ugandan music. He came out with a statement that says, I no longer do music for money.
What does he do?
I do music for leisure.
I tell you, he's true. Like, he's right. We are talking about bano bagundi. Badengenda kwogera erinnya n'ekansirike.
No, it's okay.
Okay, tachali bano ba upcoming where you need to make your way through and make your name known.
You have to try hard, yes.
It's basically fine. When you're up, and it's understandable. It's really understandable. Yeah, you have the talent, but you need to let people know that you are there and you have a good talent. So you could imagine. So in relation to that, when you say you have a good talent and you need to make your way out there known that you are there and you have good music, you always need to make your way through. So trust me, the people, katime wewe tokanga olyejo olengera bulengezi kiri wansi kati nze mba nkitegeera wabagamba bwa
munna enno olaba leka nkuwulire gwe wakitegedde, and thank you for understanding. But some of the Ugandans did not, some of the Ugandans did not.
Bannayuganda abamu tebaagala mazima, Uganda people abantu abamu tebaagala mazima. Ng'oyogera amazima nga bakugamba omuntu oyo yeeraga
ayogera bubi, yeeyisa bubi. Munange, some people inclusive did not understand. They came out to, hey, you're doing music for leisure, okay, bring another soul to music.
What do you mean soul to music?
Okay, bring another person to music. Okay, replace a person with you Ochegera.
Like yave oli addo.
Amukwateko. Like shiba.
Ambatalina ba yakwatako.
Abalina naye baluwa.
Kati olaba kiri bwe kiti. Olaba ebintu bineeno. Kampegina mu Luganda, even if nembaba nawaka,
even if your children,
you're all you can never all be equal. But yet when you find out, your parents will equally provide things for you, but you'll never come out perfectly or at the same equal stage. Kati kankubulide kyekino kati nze nyinza okuba I'm good at something naye nga ninkwata omuntu temugamba oba nemubuulirira, but I am just there to inspire. Omuli nandabirako nagamba that person does njagala kubanga gundi. You know how many kids are out there, they want to be like Chameleon. You know how many artists came into the music industry because they want to be like Chameleon. Yeah, he may not have touched them directly, you get it? But that inspiration he gave them that they also can, because they saw him like breaking through, it's enough. Nti nyiza okuba nakwata ku muntu like directly nekwata ku muntu nemusomesa nebitakola ki nekitakola ki nekitavaayo naye tulina okubamu ne picture eri nti ekifaananyi kyeyateerawo abaana bala nti bayinza okuba tebalinga ye naye at least they came on board because of seeing him. So kanekyo kya appreciating nti bambi eyinza okuba yagezaako n'akwata ku oli tali tavuddeeyo nga nnyo nga ye naye tekitegeeza nti tewaliyo bali inspired okubeera nga ye ate nga bavuddeyo ne baaka.
Okay, Jackie Chandru. Leaving Chameleon's stuff aside, Jackie Chandru came out after a long period of using drugs and the rehab things and depression and everything. She was taken care of, not down better. And if you see Jackie Chandru right now, she's good to go.
She's good to go.
Yes, and she came out with a statement. I'm ready for marriage. I'm back in love now.
Wow. Ani ali ready okumuwasa?
Anti nange gwe nnoonya. Kuba kati tuli ku katale.
Ani ali ready? Wewangulira ekyana.
So
ate oba ali ku market mwewangulire.
So for me, do you know what made me happy? I think she left the other story behind.
Which story of she moved on?
Yes, of the drugs and everything. Omanya abantu bwe bayitamu eyo embeera Brenda, mulimu ebintu bye twesibako ne bitusiba. Oba kitegeera? Yes, you've been using something. Bwe bakunjanjaba n'okireka n'okita. Kiteekireke otambula ogende. There are some things in our lives that are still within us ebigenda tulemesa okukola ki okusituka otambula.
Ngachi.
No, kali kangambe kati let me relate it to a family something. That stepmother of mine did this and that to me. Of which mukazi watu natuuka nofa when you're still having such a thing. She passed on already, but you're still remembering that she did this. Okitegera ebyo ebintu mubite
yes byangu byakuta
ati si byangu byakuta.
Okay, like waliwo okubanga you are holding a grudge ku muntu yanti yakukola ekintu naye waliwo okubanga you are affected nga nawe you as an individual you're trying your best to move out of the situation to be happy back again or say naye nga you failed. It needs more timing and talking to them just like a processing tekiringa nti ndi mulwadde oba nyina wano ekiwundu ekinnuma manye ebintu bya psychological torture if you are depressed bino ebintu biri so crucial and delicate to handle or to treat. Tekiringa kiwundu nti ogenda kusanga omuntu nga alina ekiwundu bajja bateekako plan byonna byonna bye babikoleko kitereere kidde munda. When it comes to psychology and also how you feel or mental state, it is the part that you die silently. You die silently, and while you are seeing, everybody is looking at you. That is mental health.
Auntie, like it's like this: if you get help, no jifunira ddala ate help eyo nekuyamba. Try to kale tebisobola kwerabirwa. Try to forgive and move on.
Auntie kati sibuli omuntu agenda trying. Okay, yeah, let them do that. Nay, it's not easy, so but it's a good thing that she came out. Atenze mwagaliza okuva because recently kyali kimutuuseeko ku previous ani yatwala omwami noli waliwo yatwala omwami
waliwo yatwala omwami awo bane bannayuganda temwewumuza
batwala buli kiramu
mutwala buli kiramu naye nze ali entwala ajja kutya
ali kutwala yagala okutwala
naye nkoyo kuba kulujja. So okay. In ngwangongeddeyo mu trending stories. I give you Crystal Panda.